On Monday, a Twitter space was hosted to discuss the toxicity of the workplace environment in Nigeria, and a lot of people tuned in. But I wasn't surprised that people had a lot to say about that. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't join the space that night, but the next day I kind of I read upon most of the things discussed on the space, and I also read tweets of people narrating their experiences in the hands of toxic bosses. I should say that most of the things I read were unbelievable. But if you've lived in Nigeria for a while, you would know that Nigeria is the land of the absurd. Nigeria is the land of the unbelievable. Now, when I was reading those tweets and commentary online, I got thinking, I asked myself, why is it the case that um, the workspace environment in Nigeria is to a very large extent toxic? I mean, if you ask a lot of Nigerians, what you would hear mostly are people complaining about bosses who never cared about their welfare, bosses who did not pay them their salaries as and when due, and all types of very, very horrible stories. That's what most Nigerians will tell you. So I asked myself, why is this the case? And then I came to the conclusion that, well, if you think about it, Nigeria is generally toxic. I mean, oppression is a thing in Nigeria, generally speaking. Ours is a society where the rich preys on the poor, the strong preys on the weak, and on and on. Nigeria is a classist society. When you have power, when you have wealth, you can get away with actually anything. And so that workspace culture in Nigeria is a reflection of our values as a people. We typically praise the rich and wealthy. Check out songs, our movies, they reflect all that. I mean, when you hear songs like "If you don't get money, hide your face" and things like that, it shows you that you just have to make money, you have to be famous, you have to be powerful, otherwise people really don't care about you in this country. And so when your boss knows that he has money, has power and all that, he can literally get away with anything, and technically there's nothing you can do about that. That's the unfortunate reality for millions of Nigerians. Now, to add to this is compounded by the fact that Nigeria is a very poor society, and there aren't a lot of economic opportunities for people. There aren't a lot of jobs out there, and so many people would just rather put up with the toxicity, with the abuse from their bosses. Because, I mean, if they decide to leave, are there any opportunities out there for them? Is there any alternative for them? I mean, they have families to feed, and so many people would rather put up with the abuse, with the toxicity, instead of standing on their rights or leave. They would rather just keep up with that, and it's really, really an unfortunate situation if you think about it. Now, I should say that it's really funny because Nigerians are a religious people. Overwhelmingly, we are religious people. Nigerians would very quickly try to co-opt you into their faith, into their religion. They would very quickly tell you the church they identify with or the religion they identify with. We post church stickers on our doors, on our cars. We wear religious wristbands, and all that. Yet, this does not translate into how we treat ourselves. We don't treat ourselves with dignity. And we go to church, we go to mosque, we claim to believe in God and all that. But in terms of the way we treat ourselves, we really don't treat ourselves very well, if we are going to be honest. The only time you see a Nigerian according respect and dignity to a fellow Nigerian is when he is in the presence of a rich man or a wealthy man. That's the only time you'd mostly see us showing our self-respect, and it's very, very sad, honestly. So when as a culture we don't really accord respect to people unless they belong to a certain socio-economic class, it is expected that oppression would exist in every other aspect of society. And might I add, whenever the argument or discussion comes up around around abuse and oppression in Nigeria, we mostly blame the government and law enforcement for that. While that is true, but the reality is that Nigerians, when you give Nigerians a little power, a little fame, a little money, they tend to be oppressive to themselves. And this is not necessarily the government or law enforcement. No, it's just a thing in Nigeria. It's a culture in Nigeria. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that we can't just talk about toxic bosses in isolation. We need to look at it in the general context, of the Nigerian society. And I like to end by saying this. I don't think I know any Nigerian company that has lasted beyond 50 years or 100 years. In fact, there aren't a lot of them. I can only think about one that is over 100 years. And why do you think that is? And here's my theory. I think the reason why a lot of indigenous Nigerian companies fold up is because of toxic work environment plays, in my own opinion, a huge part in that. When your workers are stressed, when they feel stifled, when they feel their rights are being denied, when the entire workspace is toxic, then naturally those workers won't give their best, and that would affect the productivity of the company. And so it is no wonder then that most startups fail in Nigeria. Anyway, that will be all for today. Remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and let me know of your experience. Have you had any toxic boss or bosses? Let me know. You can share your experience in the comment below. And also, if you would like to support the channel, donation links are in the description. So that will be all for today, guys. Till next time, stay safe.